So, let me take you back to a time when the internet was still a novelty. I was in junior college, living with my girlfriend Lucy to save up on rent. Everything seemed pretty chill until one night, Lucy invited a friend from her class over for a game night. I thought, why not? Sounds like fun. That friend turned out to be Sarah, someone I recognized from high school. We weren't close, but we got along well enough. What started as a casual game night soon turned into a regular hangout. Sarah came over often, bringing her boyfriend Jay along. Now let me tell you, Jay was, well, let's just say he didn't fit in. He was quiet and standoffish, and it felt like he didn't want to be there at all. We were polite and included him, but it was clear he wasn't interested in making friends. Thankfully, he only came over a couple of times. Then, one evening, everything changed. Sarah called Lucy in tears, asking if she could come over. Naturally, we said yes. When she got to our place, she shared a story that made my blood boil. Jay had been accusing her of cheating. Ridiculous, right? As she tried to leave, he shoved her, and she fell, getting a nasty bruise on her lower back. The moment I heard that, I felt a surge of anger. I wanted to confront him, to beat the crap out of him. But I'm not a fighter. I needed a plan. Now, here's where things get interesting. I was working in the administration building at the college, which meant I had access to student records, class schedules, and even their fees. And it hit me. I could use that access for a little revenge. It was the last day to drop or add classes without penalty, so I pulled up Jay's information. I had his student ID number and everything I needed. With a few clicks, I canceled all of his classes. But I didn't stop there. Oh no. I went ahead and added every class I could find that had a fee associated with it. Why? Because if you owed a debt to the school, you couldn't get your transcripts or even copies of your grades. And here's the kicker. Jay was a foreign student. If he wasn't enrolled in a certain number of classes, he could be kicked out of the country. I had to keep my mouth shut, of course. I didn't want this traced back to me. But the satisfaction of knowing I had disrupted his life, that was priceless. Then came the fallout. Sarah was worried about running into him, especially since they had an English class together. I remember her saying, "What if he's in class with me on Tuesday?" Well, Tuesday came, and guess what? Jay wasn't there. Someone else had taken his spot. He tried to argue with the teacher, but the teacher had the official roster, and Jay's name wasn't on it. Sarah told me how he stood there confused and frustrated, while the teacher simply pointed to the list. That was the last time Sarah saw him in class. I didn't know what happened next. I didn't check his records again for a while, but eventually I looked him up. All the classes with fees were gone. Nothing else was on his schedule either. A part of me wanted to confirm if he had been kicked out, but I didn't push it. I was satisfied knowing Sarah didn't have to deal with him anymore. Now, I'll be honest, I sometimes worry that I took it too far. But then I think about what he did to her. You mess with my friends, you face the consequences. So what do you think? Was I justified in my actions, or did I go too far? Let me know in the comments below.